How y'all doing, sweethearts? Got a magical day. Yeah, freak storm come in about 4 o'clock this morning. Just goes to show lots of purging going on. How y'all doing today? You guys feeling a little bit better? Got a little bit of a break till the next wave comes in, and it's coming. It's coming, sweet ones. We got some dark clouds up here. But we have Uranus going retrograde today. And usually about the week before and the week after, Uranus goes retrograde, or stations to go retrograde, if you will, today. It's bringing a lot of impatience, irritability, if you will. This is what you guys are part of what you're experiencing this past week. It brings that impatience and that intolerance and that irritability when you have somebody trying to infringe on your personal choices, your personal rights, if you will. And that's going to continue up through the rest of the month. That's just one energy on top of all the other energies that's coming in. Now you got this partial lunar eclipse coming in on the 7th in Aquarius. And it's really helpful to understand that Aquarius is an air sign. It's a mental sign. And with this mental sign, if you will, you're going to find yourself in a space of really focusing on what you're thinking about and the choices that it is creating for you to make, or the choices that you are making that are hindering you on your spiritual journey, if you will. How y'all doing, sweethearts? Astral, Fiona, Jenny, Helena, Elja, Michelle, Lorraine, big hugs and blessings, sweethearts. So, not only that, with any kind of eclipse, sweet ones, an eclipse is really a severing point of all that is no longer for your highest good. It severs it and it reveals itself to you. And so, I'm going to sit on this wet log. And so as you go through this first eclipse, how you doing, Elizabeth? Big hugs and blessings, sweetheart. You're going to find that much is going to fall out of your reality. It's going to be revealed to you, and it's either going to start falling away, if you will, or it's going to make it to where you choose to have it fall away or you walk away. Now, it's really helpful to understand as we go into this partial lunar eclipse in Aquarius. I think it's on Monday. It's on the 7th anyways. Leading up to that now, through the rest of this week, you're going to have those waves of intensity. And then they're going to come down again, like it is right now, give you a little grace period to integrate it. And then it's going to spike again. And we're going to do that all week, because all week this is asking you to really observe thyself in anything and everything that does not serve the highest good of yourself and the highest good globally, for the highest good collectively and planetary. And so, as you go into this full moon partial lunar eclipse, really observe thyself and really allow yourself to let go of that you have already observed, if you will, that you need to release. And coming into the eclipse, you're going to discover, sweethearts, that which you have not let go of, that you have observed or have been guided to let go of, if you will, it's going to really reveal itself. And so you're going to, from that point on, like I said yesterday, I made a post. From now till the 25th of August, the 21st is the total solar eclipse. And I just gave it a few extra days, if you will, because, everything also happens after the fact, too. I love you, sweetheart. I love you all. And so you're really going to find this is going to be a roller coaster ride, sweethearts. And anything that is not of the frequency of love is going to be revealed to you and asking you to sever it. And if you don't sever it, it will be severed for you. So really, by observing yourself, So it's really going to help you. And so this is like a freedom ride. That's why I named it a roller coaster, a freedom ride. Now, when we hit the August 21st total solar eclipse, now what that's going to do is that's really going to separate the two grids, the true worlds, if you will, what we've all been talking about. But also what it's going to do for each of us, each of you, is it is going to open up, if you will, a great amount of opportunity for, it's going to open up gateways and portals for new realities. And that is really what everybody says is the shift, because that's, a total solar eclipse, that's like a total, you're leaving one world and going into another. That's like a total separation. That's why we're calling it the separation of the world, separation of the timelines, whatever you want to label it as, sweethearts. So really allow yourself on this roller coaster ride this next couple of weeks to really observe what makes you scream, what you fear, what really is presenting yourself, and really allow yourself, give yourself permission, sweethearts, to step into that fear. Step into any emotion that's coming from the mind programming that's coming up to be released, and really focus on the emotions that are being developed through the feelings of your heart. Again, I can't stress enough. Allow yourselves to think through your heart rather than your mind. And you will discover, when you allow yourselves to think through your heart, the ego mind programming really has no space, no place in it. And that's really where you want to be. You want to think through your heart. You want to live through your heart. And now you're going to also find with these energies that, like we've been encouraging you, get out into the physical. It is, at this point, sweet ones, it's really crucial, if you will, that you start stepping away from your electronics. You start stepping away from social media, and you physically start getting out into your communities. You will discover that by doing so, you are going to come into union, if you will, with more of your soul tribes. Now, there's 12 soul monads out there, and each soul monad, there's 12 soul tribes in each one, 144,000 of you each. And so this is, by getting out in the public, by getting out there, you are going to attract more of your soul families and monads to you, and that is really the space we need to all be in. Now, all of us are scattered. Ooh, it's starting to rain again. All of us are scattered completely all over this globe. And Spirit has been guiding many of you for months now to relocate, to do this, to do that. And many of you, of us, again, when I say you, I'm talking as a collective here. I'm not saying it separating myself from anybody. But for those of you who have not followed that guidance for purposes or reasons of physical challenges, if you will, you have not followed that guidance to relocate. You have not followed that guidance to go here or there, for whatever reason it may be. Children, lack of money to move, fear, whatever it may be, you are going to find now that it is no greater time for you to follow that guidance. And that's where you're surrendering into the full faith that you have and the trust that you behold within you for the Creator. As the living word of the Creator, that's where you have to surrender. And you have to know without a shadow of a doubt that if Spirit says jump, regardless of what this physical world shows to you, you don't have the money, you don't have this, you don't know how you would do it, yada, 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 yada. Spirit is saying trust. Because when you step into that full faith and trust, sweethearts, Spirit will provide the way for you. You are provided for in every way, shape, or form. And the purpose so many of you do not see it is because you're blinded by the fear. You're blinded by the physical world and how it dictates your emotions. And as you can let go of what the physical limitations is presenting you and step into what Spirit is guiding for, the second you take that step, you will find that Spirit will provide the way, and more synchronicities will fall into place that are going to bring you to that space where Spirit wants you. But first, you have to take the step. Everything in this physical plane and outside of this physical plane is love. It don't matter how you perceive it. It's love. Good, bad, or indifferent, sweethearts. And when you allow yourself to be that love, regardless of the perceptions of yourself and others, regardless of the perceptions of what this outside physical world is dictating to you, and you just take action, Spirit will meet you more than halfway. But you have to be willing to take that step. You have to be, regardless of the physical world and what it presents. Spirit says jump. You don't ask how high, you just jump. That is total surrender. And you will find when you allow yourselves to do that, rather than stop and think and question Spirit, well, how am I supposed to do this? I don't have the money, or I got this, I don't have a place to live. What am I going to do? You will find that Spirit will send you the people that you need in your presence, the messages, the synchronicities, whatever it may be. It will be provided to you. Just keep an open mind and realize Spirit don't work with expectations. So if Spirit tells you to jump, and you say, okay, I'll jump, but I need this, this, and this to jump, forget it. Because now you're putting expectation and demands on how your ego wants it, not what is for your highest good. And Spirit always, 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 sweethearts, knows what's for your highest good. And that, again, is where you have to surrender. You have to have that absolute faith and trust in self, in the Creator. And you get off of my table. You can't type on my laptop, dog. My puppy's trying to type on my laptop because I'm on my phone. So, really allow yourselves to really observe where you're not surrendering this week, sweet ones. The more you can release this week and be present with yourself, go within, do a lot of introspection, and release everything. The more you can release, you're going to find, come the 7th on the full moon with this partial lunar eclipse, from that point to the total solar eclipse, is going to go a heck of a lot more graceful and a heck of a lot more easy and gentle. And that's really what you want. At this space, you really want to take yourself out of what you are resisting. Whether that's leaving a marriage, whether that is leaving a job, whether that is whatever it may be, moving, just even moving to a new location, whatever that may be, you're asking to surrender. And with this surrender, if you allow yourself to surrender, you will find you are going to be guided to spaces, to places, in other areas, other jobs, whatever it may be, of your soul tribes within your soul monads. And that's really what is crucial right now, because the more we can get all of us gathered together in the physical plane, if you will, with your soul tribes, with your soul monads, we're going to increase the light. There is an awful lot that have not awakened. And there is an awful lot of souls that had chosen not to awaken that have now since chosen to awaken. And that is where you're really needing to stand into your light, be the pillar of peace, and be that pillar of love for these that have now chosen to awaken, that had before chosen not to. Because whereas us first wavers and us blue rays have had, 4, 5, 6 years, even the second wavers have had a couple of years. These ones now that are choosing to awaken, they got weeks. And that is where we need to really make ourselves available in the physical, not just on social media, for those members of our soul monads, our soul tribes that have now chosen to awaken at the last minute. And that is really where we come in. When we do the global minute meditations, when we do the global healings, when we do those, we're making it easier and much more gentle and graceful for those who now have chosen to wake up, for those that have just waken up in the past few months or the past year. We make it more graceful. So really allow yourselves to fully surrender. And allow yourselves, by doing so, you're allowing yourselves to step even more into your power. And you are going to benefit the highest good of yourself and the highest good of your soul monads, whether you are consciously or unconsciously, knowingly or unknowingly aware of that. And I say it like that because these that are just waking up are not consciously aware of as much as you are. For those who have already awakened and who have already been on the awakening journey. And that is really where we want to be. We really want to be that steady pillar and of peace, of love, and that's what these energies are going to be doing. So really allow yourself to feel into these energies. And, on the 12th, you got Mercury going retrograde again. So you got a lot of mixture of energies, sweet ones. Not only that, you got a whole lot of energies coming in from the great central sun and the great grand central suns. And, flow with it and breathe. There's going to be a lot of... again, intense waves, up and down, up and down. Enjoy the roller coaster ride, and when you start screaming, figure out what that fear is and step into it. Because the only way to transcend and transform a fear is to step right into it. Because you will find that which you fear, sweet ones, once you step into it, you're going to look at yourself and it's like, I was scared of that. So... So, think back and observe. How many times have you done that already on your journeys? How many times were you so scared shitless of something, and then when you actually faced it, it wasn't as bad as you thought it was? And so really keep that in the forefront of your thoughts when these fears arise. And I don't care what kind of an emotion it is, it's still a fear. All emotion, when it comes from the altered mind programming that we are releasing now, all emotion is a fear. And really, that's really what you want to step into, and you will discover it is not that bad. You have transcended most of it. And those who are just awakening now, who are just choosing to awaken at the last minute, if you will find that even what they go through is much more graceful and gentle than what you went through and what those that awakened before you went through. And that is, when you can see that, when you can observe that, that really is a lot of the magic, because we have transcended so much within ourselves and collectively already that you can literally observe just how much more graceful it is for those just now awakening, who have just now made that soul choice to awaken, whereas before they hadn't. They weren't going to ascend, they had chose not to. And you will find that there are many souls that chose to ascend. Again, everything is a polarity. For as many that have chosen to awaken at the last minute, you're going to find, sweethearts, that there are just as many light workers that have been on the journey that have now chosen not to ascend. And that is where some of you that have messaged me saying, you know, I've been friends with this person for years, and now all of a sudden out of the blue they're freaking out on me and they're unfriending me and they're yada yada yada. It's, you know, don't judge it, sweet ones. Just be present with them, because there are many that, again, are gonna fall away from you. There are many that you're gonna choose to walk away from, regardless if that's on social media, or in the physical, in your family, in your personal relationships, your intimate relationships. And now I'm going to touch on a subject that may be a little uncomfortable, for some. You're also going to find, and I really encourage you, sweethearts, please do not judge yourself or any other. Your natural state of being is androgynous, and you will find that some of you that have been in, and I don't like labels, but, you know, it is what it is. This is what humanity is labeled as: gay, lesbian, transgender. You are going to find that some of you are going to go into those type of relationships where you have only been with the opposite sex before. And you're going to find that some of you that are in those type of relationships, partnerships, if you will, and have been for years, are now coming out of it and have chosen to go back to, you know, with the opposite sex, if you will. Really allow these changes to take place, however it may be, however it may present itself, sweethearts, because truly you are being returned to your original template. And there is no bias, there is no judgment in divine love. And if you are finding yourself, say you were in a lesbian or gay relationship, and you are now finding yourself drawn more to the opposite sex relationship, don't judge yourself, because that is a lot that's coming up right now. Gabrielle, thank you. I fluctuate, honey. In the past month and a half, I've gained like 25 pounds, and in the past week, I've lost like 10. And you will find that fluctuates within all of you guys. You know, you take in a lot of light and you end up gaining some weight. And then after you've integrated it, you'll start to lose it. That's not unusual. It's really helpful to understand, sweethearts. The more light you take in, the more you expand. All darkness is condensed light. And so that's why, like yesterday in the video, I said, some of you feel like you're having a heart attack. And, Blanca, don't judge it. There's no reason to have a frown on that. Weight is weight. What does it matter? Truly. You know, it's just a spacesuit, honey. It don't matter. You can switch that weight like that. Talk to your vessels. I told you, communicate with your vessels instead of saying the words weight, gain and lose. Let me tell you something. You sit there and you speak out loud. I gotta go on a diet. I gotta lose weight. I can, just like an optical nerve, how you see something and it goes in and it inverts inside your brain. That's exactly what your cells do. You sit there and say, I gotta lose weight. You have just told your cells to start gaining. I would encourage you to really observe your words. Words are powerful. Instead of saying lose weight, I encourage you to say, okay, vessel, we need to release the armor. Because really that's all weight is armor. It's armor that you have put on to protect your fears, if you will. And so, you know, things get bigger when light comes in, because light expands it, if you will. And just flow with it. Don't judge it. It's all good. And so, back to what I was saying with relationships, sweethearts. The same token goes, if, say you're married, and all of a sudden you are finding yourself drawn to a lesbian relationship, don't judge it. Because, again, you have a masculine and feminine within your vessels. You're an androgynous by nature. And just because you are being returned to your original template, if you will, sweethearts, you may find that you are drawn to that same sex, but that same sex that you're drawn to could very well be exhibiting or stepping into the other essence, the polarity essence, if you will. All I'm saying is don't judge it. Allow yourself to really connect with yourself and don't judge what's arising. If you find yourself in those spaces, allow it to be. And really be present with what it's presenting to you, how you do and can't. I love you. I love all of you. Big hugs and blessings. And so really allow yourselves to release as much as you can this week before this full moon partial lunar eclipse. Can't I like girls, do you? Nothing wrong with that. You're a cowboy. Cowboys usually do. I don't want to hear those jokes. I didn't know. I'm not even going there. Anyways, I grew up on a ranch. I know all those jokes about horses and sheep farms. Let me tell you something. In Montana, you want to know what a Montana singles bar is? It's a sheep farm. And I'm not saying that to be funny. I'm telling you the truth. And anybody who knows anything about Montana knows that. I don't judge it. But anyways, really allow yourselves to go through these energies that are presenting itself without, and really try to keep yourself steady and grounded without jumping. Just because you're going through these energetic spikes, sweet ones, doesn't mean you have to jump into them, you know? Just allow yourself to flow with the roller coaster ride. Once you're on the roller coaster ride, you can't get off till it stops, sweet ones. So you might as well just go with it. You might as well not even try to get off, because you can't. You all know that if you've ever been on a roller coaster ride. Gabrielle, Montana is called God's country, and for anybody who's ever been there, it really is God's country. And if you're going to go visit Montana, I really encourage you to go see Glacier National Park and go see Yellowstone National Park. Those play a very big role in this ascension process, if you will. And you will also find on the 8-8 gateway, 2 suns will rise above Montana and be present from that moment on in the sky. So Montana plays actually plays a very big role underneath, if you will, in this ascension process. And so really allow yourselves to be present, sweet ones. That's all I wanted to say. Uranus is going to have a big influence through all of this. And, you know, when you can allow yourself to understand that Uranus is bringing up the irritability, it is bringing and presenting itself to this stuff, it really is asking you to release it and let go of it. So you can have those step into these new portal and gateway openings that are being offered to you through these eclipses. Again, these eclipses are this first one is going to sever that which is not for your highest good and bring it up and reveal it to you. And that is what you can work on releasing up until the total solar eclipse on the 21st. And that is going to take you providing where you're at within and the frequency you hold within. That total solar eclipse is going to put you into a whole new reality, should you choose it. So really allow yourselves to be present, sweet ones. I love you. Have a magical, magical day. Step into you. Step into love in all ways, in every moment. Life is love. And the only way to live it is to love it, whatever it presents. I love you. Big, big hugs and blessings, sweethearts. Have a great day. Bye-bye now.